Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a new video. We're back with thumbnail videos. I decided, last year, at the end of last year, I did the daily thumbnail challenge sort of videos thingies. And I thought, these are quite good to sort of generate ideas and come up with quick sort of sketches for reference for future paintings, or I can even make sort of finished paintings out of these. So I made six, one for each day in a week for each, and I could make seven, but six just fits better on the canvas, so that's why we do six. Yeah, I use a couple of different methods during these sketches, during these thumbnails. I started one with just paint. I think this one turned out to be quite good. I think we can make a really nice scene out of this one if we want to. Of course, it's still really rough and it's not finished in any way, but it's just sort of a composition, a bit of color, a bit of values plot down, and yeah, a good base to start a painting on, I think. In the next one, I decided to start with a quick line drawing, just to vary things up a little bit. I kind of wanted to introduce some buildings in the scene. So yeah, here you see me doing the line drawing really quick. I decided to adjust the middle building there a little bit. Put down a nice gradient of blue, add some color, and for this one I used photo textures. I actually used photo textures for the rest of the thumbnails, so I probably could have done a couple more with just the coloring and the painting. Although in this one I used mostly paint, and I used just a couple of photographs just for the textures, not for the colors, and in later ones I also used the photographs for the colors. So yeah, sort of a slightly different method for each one of them. As you can see, the theme for this week was well, basically just jungle, nothing else, just jungle, and the rest, yeah, you can have all types of stuff in the jungle, but I thought having architecture there is always nice to make it look a little bit more interesting. So on this one, I actually worked for quite a bit. I wasn't really happy with the colors, although now I look back at it, I think it's fairly decent. So I decided to introduce some more colors, and here you see me throwing down a texture. And I think it helps quite a lot for adding detail. So yeah, it was a good addition here. I grabbed some reds, just to have a bit of an extra color variation in these. I think the thumbnails are 3,000 or 4,000 pixels wide, if I recall correctly. Made in Photoshop with default brushes. Here you see me throwing in some textures a lot earlier, just to have some color, and I used a picture for the sort of the big tree trunk there to add some color to it. And for the rest, I will just use the paint. So this was a bit of a fairly default scene, I'd guess, sort of the standard tree over a ravine or river. I mean, you see this all the time in video games and stuff like that. But it's still a fun thing to do, to have a river and a ravine there, and have the trees. I left this one fairly rough, but I think this can be a nice scene if we were to work on it a little bit more. So we might do that in the future. I think with the waterfalls in the background, if we combine it with a little bit of architecture, I think it can be a really nice scene. So some of these are yeah, very rough and can use sort of a next refinement path I should say. Sorry for that. Maybe I'll do it, I don't know, but I will store these of course on my PC, and I might use a couple of them for future paintings. I might do one next week during the live streams. I'm planning on doing one piece per live stream because or per week. So here I skip a little bit. I thought I was recording, but the entire recording of the fourth one, or almost the entire recording, got lost. So that's quite unfortunate. But we have the fifth and the sixth one. But what was I talking about? Yeah, about refining, not refining, about making paintings out of these. I will probably grab one for the live streams for next week, and maybe I'll do two during live streams. But I will I'll do one per week, because I think that's the best solution. I've been doing a lot of working on various paintings at the same time. The last couple of live streams were 4 paintings at the same time, which in terms of working is quite nice, but I don't think it's really good for live streaming, because you have 4 or 5 or maybe even 6 live streams if I really want to make them finished. You have a lot of live streams with the same sort of images, so I think it's better to just have 2 live streams with the same image, and so each week a new and fresh image. I think that's better for the channel, for you guys. It's a lot more interesting. So I sort of wanted to integrate the houses with the trees. I've done stuff like that in the past, but I really like the idea of integrating architecture with nature. So yeah, I really liked this one. I really like the idea, the concept behind this. So this is probably one of the ones that we will refine. Here you can see me throwing down 4 pictures actually that I decided, you know, I'm gonna use these. I could have opened them one by one, but I decided I'm gonna open them all, and then I'm gonna work sort of directly from those. I kind of wanted to integrate the castle sort of in there, but as you can see, I keep fiddling with it for quite some time, but I couldn't really find a good spot. In the end, it didn't really work out, so I decided to go against it. But I think the composition I had there was quite nice. I think it was nicer than the one I ended up with. So I see this last one as a bit as a waste, because overall the picture was kind of nice, but I decided to go with big buildings on the right here, and I think it kind of ruins the composition. It takes up about almost half the space of the painting, and that's quite a shame. So I think I should have kept going with the castle and put it down at a waterfall, and sort of made it good with just with the brush. As you can see, the paint shifted there, which sometimes happens if I press the wrong buttons, but I didn't really realize that, so I didn't put it back. That's a bit of a shame. But I consider the last one as sort of a bit of a lost cause. I think I could have made it better with the architecture around the waterfall, and not having this sort of cover up almost half of the painting. But nevertheless, this was a good learning experience. These are not necessarily there to stay. It's just generating IDs, and I had a couple of interesting IDs. So I'm gonna use one of these, and I will refine that in the live streams next week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about the thumbnails and things like that, feel free to post them in the comments. If you like this content, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of it in the future. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next week. Bye!